Hello and welcome to Foxy Roxy Reviews. Today my topic is employment. I'm aware that kind of the medical aspect is kind of very important within the trans community and getting that medical coverage. I mean, we're in the UK, we're very lucky in some ways because the NHS does cover those types of treatments. Obviously, kind of getting onto those waiting lists is an issue. However, I think there's other important topics within the community as well, which don't get as kind of maybe as much press time, and I think these has equal weighting, especially for things like quality of life and just for having the means to do things. So I think this is why I've chosen the topic of employment today. I think social mobility is very important because that is, for me personally anyway, the disposable income someone has. So even if you kind of earn quite a lot of money, you know, it might well be you've got a lot of outgoings, and especially when you're looking at things in terms of the trans lens or perspective, is that quite a lot of the time people might have to move jobs or move out to a different location, and sometimes the job availability is not so great. So there can be some issues with that. So the disposable income can go down, and in the same way also costs go up. So even in the UK, if you want hair removal, most time you have to pay for it yourself. So you have increasing costs as well as potentially diminishing income. And I think that's why I think it is a big issue. I know looking for jobs can be hard, and I must admit that I've been quite lucky in the last few years. I've actually managed to move between different positions if I've needed to. For example, if the company's been letting people go, or there's been some changes, or personally I've wanted to move, and so it is difficult. And there's no getting around around it. You do need to apply for a lot of jobs, so you've got to have a thick skin, and you will get rejected. I know there's plenty of people not in the trans community that have very similar experiences to me, kind of in that respect. But I think what's really important here is finding the right position. This can be hard depending on what location you're in. I mean, I'm quite lucky because I'm living in a city that there seems to be more opportunities, especially with people who've got a developed HR department. They've got more keen kind of equalities policies, and they're kind of more switched on with that. But my biggest tip of the day is do the research on the company and interview them. Are they going to be the right people for you? Because I'm happy where I am now, and in the previous companies they've said all the right things, and even though they might not be fully up on trans, they're very open, and I must admit I've had no real issues with any kind of work environment that I've been in particular. But yes, do your homework, interview them, make sure they are the right people for you, as in any interview situation. And as always, just be read up, be prepared, and that always counts, especially when you are being interviewed. If you show your knowledge about the company, the kind of products they sell, and the type of business they are, it always it reflects on you very well. I think my last major point here, obviously I want to try to keep the videos quite tight and short, is get connected. So it's with the different people that got different jobs on offer, or even if it's like social groups or even organisations that can help and offer support if there's a difficult situation at work, or you just want to seek some further advice over kind of a policy you think that might not support them too well. Because a lot of the times, I must admit, if you get a good relationship with the company and you explain to them kind of what your needs are, that you can usually work something out. I mean, I personally haven't had very many issues kind of regarding that, and if I need to go for doctor's appointments and anything like that, I haven't had anything to really speak of. But say if you want to get, you know, connected with certain organisations, there's plenty of groups around the country that you can kind of speak to, but just get clued up. And I think that's really useful. And there's plenty of websites. You've got Citizens Advice as well, and Direct Gov as well for the UK. I'm sure there's other kind of various kind of information outlets kind of for different countries. But just get informed. In conclusion, I still think it's a major issue, and I still think there's lots of hurdles that kind of need to be jumped through. And there's certainly a lot of challenges. I certainly know there's some people who maybe live in more rural communities that have a lot more trouble getting acceptance and kind of getting their foot in the door than maybe in some city environments. And unfortunately, I think that's still true today. But I think overall, I think part of it is being yourself is very good, because that means that you can kind of be productive and be happy in your position, but you just need to find the right place, and that's not always an easy task. So the only other thing I would say is just help with your numbers. Make sure you apply to as many positions as you can, and just see how things go. And I think quite a lot of the times, I mean, when I moved between jobs, I think I made around 300 applications to move from one job to another, and it's quite often you would unfortunately get rejected, and that's maybe not down to yourself as well. And I think it's very easy to be very self-conscious, especially when you're just coming out. And I think just it always helps to have a bit of support as well, whether that's a friend you trust or a social group or something like that. I think there's always someone around, even if it's on like Facebook or something like that. There's plenty of other groups that are available, and I think it's really worth tapping into them. But anyway, that's my very short video. I hope you enjoyed. If you do have any more topics you want to cover, please do let me know. And as always, please subscribe.